thought you could see, even from the beginning, the intensity was there a little more tonight, a little more of what you wanted that you didn't get Thursday, and ultimately, you know, the grit, determination in the fourth quarter kind of led to this win.
That was it. Just that we talked about, we didn't play the way we want to play Thursday night against New Mexico State. We just didn't, and it probably would give credit to them, but a lot of it was us. We just didn't have the same fight in us on defense. We didn't keep the pressure. We only forced, I think they only had 16 turnovers, and you know, we forced everybody into 20 turnovers, and so we just didn't have that. And that aside, then we compounded that problem by turning the ball over too much, dribbling too much for our own shot, and then we still can't shoot the ball right now. We're like in a team slump. I don't know what it is, but we talked about in the huddle there, coming out at halftime, you're good shooters. Casey Hayes and Destiny are good shooters. You know, Lexi Mead's a good shooter. They got good percentages. Aaliyah Pitts has shot the ball really well. And she's in a little bit of a longer slump than the others, but I said, stop worrying about it. Just shoot your shot, and then everybody else go get it, and let's get another one. And so maybe that freed them up a little bit. I think we were just overthinking it, but the defensive intensity, you know, I can name. I mean, Alexis Mead made big plays, drew a charge. Leah Pitts got a huge deflection that caused an over and back. You know, Teresa Faustina made the huge deflection at the end. They didn't get a shot off. You know, there was just a lot. Josie Gilvin, a lot of them got big plays on defense, which is what we want to take pride in.
When it came down to that second half there, mainly for most of the second half, you shortened it to 6 players. You didn't have others out there, but for UTEP 35, I don't have the numbers. I know she had a lot of rebounds.
She had 19 and 14. She had a double-double at halftime. She had 11 rebounds at halftime.
So, you know, for you, what was kind of your mindset there? You know, obviously you kind of trade off rebounding there for more offense. You know, was that kind of your mindset?
No. I mean, it's an accurate observation, but that wasn't it. It was really about matching up with more speed. And so that's why, like, Odie's been great for us. Odie's still going as an integral and important part of this team, just like Caitlin Staley. But I really felt like Aaliyah Pitts did the best job in the first half of guarding Jane. And so it was pretty quickly obvious that I'm going to go back to Aaliyah, and again, it proved right. And Destiny wasn't just Aaliyah. Like, everybody was helping. Destiny was helping, like Teresa. Like, they were all doing their job, helping, making sure that that she didn't see those spaces where she's so good at pivoting and driving. And you know, the one time she spun and, you know, took one dribble, and it looked like she went from a three-point line to a layup on one step. And so for the most part of the night, we did a pretty good job of taking that away from her. And that was kind of the game plan. But Aaliyah did a phenomenal job.
You mentioned to the players, while they out-rebounded you, you guys out-rebounded them on the offensive glass, and it was, I think it was like 18-6, something like that, in second
Right.
chance points. While the rebounding obviously wasn't what you wanted, it was key, I thought, in what you guys were able to do in getting those second chance points, keeping them off the offensive glass, and ultimately, you know, getting some extra shots, extra possessions that were big for you guys.
That's it. That's kind of what we do, you know, and it's what we did last year. We've done that for a while, and you know, Caitlin Staley and Jalen Brill are going to be impactful players around the rim, but they're just not quite ready yet, and they keep getting better. There's tremendous improvement in practice and in their play. They're going to get there, and we're going to have that presence around the rim. But right now, tonight, you know, Odie's been shooting the ball pretty well. In the last couple of games, she's kind of just gone cold. And so we weren't getting a lot of mid-range or at-the-rim production. And so that's why we had to keep the floor spread out. And either we were going to get a foul or layup, or a three and offensive rebound. And that was kind of our strategy.
When you were drawing up that last play in that timeout for Destiny or for whoever, you know, what was your conversation with them? What was you drawing up?
Well, we've got a handful of, like all coaches, we've got a handful of stuff that we practice, that we go through and we go to. We try not to use the same one too often. But we felt like Aaliyah was going to be able to get open on the ball. And then Aaliyah knew that if they were going to double team or deny Destiny the ball, we had Lexi Mead cutting the basket right there. And we had our two shooters. We had Teresa and Casey on the other side over there. And so Lex knew if she didn't get to the basket for a wide open layup, she had 2 shooters to kick out to if they were going to give that to us. Turns out they didn't, and they allowed Destiny to come off that back screen and get the ball, and that's kind of what we were hoping. We didn't know if she was going to be able to keep it and reject it like she did, or if she's going to get it and turn the corner off of Leah. But either way, it was going to be good options for her, and that's what we wanted. She did the same thing against Abilene Christian.
The ball movement tonight, too, being inside out, I thought was really, really good. I mean, you even got some looks that didn't fall from 3, but the way you attacked inside to get outside and create, I thought was a lot better.
Yeah, I thought they were sharing the ball, they were moving the ball. The assists, we only had 13 assists. Now, and she wasn't up for tonight, but how about Lexi Mead playing 38 minutes, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, 2 turnovers, and I just never. I'll tell you what she's most mad about is she missed 2 free throws. I guarantee you she's ticked off that she missed 2 free throws. But the ball movement was way better. We talked about that. We watched a little bit of film on that. That's something we've been, kind of harping on to make sure we're moving that ball. And then I felt like for most of the second half it was pretty good. Then we got that little stretch, probably about the 4-minute mark. We kind of took a lead, and then we got down 5 or 6, and then we started getting stale. And so we had a timeout. Well, actually, they had like their 8th timeout and so we talked about making sure we got back to passing and cutting and moving. And the girls did a great job with that.
And how do you keep putting that in their heads to play that type of game, the ball moving constantly? Because you go from Thursday where there's not much movement today. Obviously, you all talked about yesterday putting that ball in. So how do you keep that consistently going?
Well, that's how we practice. We do that every day. And so Thursday it was frustrating because I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are we doing this? And it was almost against the grain of what we do every day in practice. And so, there's times we'll play a game in practice where passes are points. And so, if we pass the ball 10 times and then score, you get 10 points. Pass the ball 2 times and score, you get 2 points. And so it puts a premium on ball movement. And so that we do that every day. And sometimes we're good at it in games, better than others. But Thursday was an absolute disaster of it. So hopefully we'll burn that tape.
I think one of the underrated aspects of today, Coach, was you had multiple players above 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Destiny played 40, and even some off the bench played 25 and 19. Those that speak on the conditioning.
And we pressed the entire time. And again, we do that in practice. Like we don't practice pressing for 40 minutes in practice, but we practice that constantly. And so the girls know that's how we're going to play. And one of my favorite coaches of all time is Nolan Richardson. And so, the girls have no idea who he is, but one day I asked them what he called his style of play, and they had no idea. And I said, you got till tomorrow to Google it and find out or look it up. And so that's how we play, and that's what we do. And so we're getting better. We're not great at it yet, but we're better than we were. And there's still areas that I think that we can get significant improvement on. And like tonight, we let some people just drive straight to the basket. We let some people get behind us. And so those are things that. But now some of the players getting behind us this time was a result of, it was an aggressive mistake. And those are mistakes that we like, because those are ones you learn from. And so in the past, we might have done that because it wasn't an aggressive mistake. But there's still areas we'll get better. And so our goal is to get to be more like Coach Richardson and Coach Patino's teams.
You spoke on Thursday about turnovers. You had 19 on Thursday,
Yeah.
10 today, 4 in the second half. Is that where you want to be as a team?
Well, I'll take 10 over 19, but I'd like to be at 0. I mean, if we're going to just wish, let's wish for 0. So, but the biggest difference was tonight, Destiny Salary had 1, Alexis Mead had 2, and Casey Hayes had 2. They had 5 of our 10. They had 10 of our 19 Thursday. And so we can't have those 3 players with 10 turnovers. They play a lot. They have the ball a lot. They're going to make some mistakes. 5, you can live with 5. 10, we can't, and Thursday was a low possession game. You can't have 10 turnovers from those 3 players and 19 as a team in a low possession game. You can't do that.